right. Thank you so much. We are back with Oshkosh Live, powered by Redbird Flight. Thank you, Kaylee. You're doing I appreciate the heads up there. We now have our next esteemed guest. Ryan, you know this gentleman well.
Ernie Meeks. Good to see you, man. Good to see you. We saw you last night, but it's good to have you here on our set and talk about all things pilots today.
I love it. I love it.
It's what you do, right?
Yep.
You know a few things about that.
No, it's fun.
You do. So, you've been a professional pilot a long time, but tell us about your background. People know who you are from YouTube, a lot of people.
Yeah.
But talk about your background and how you got started.
Yeah, I got started. My dad was in the Air Force. He was basically a mechanic on the F-4. From what I remember, that was his last part in the Air Force. So I was probably 5 or 6. He would take me out to the flight line. I would see these guys get dressed up in G-suits and on helmets and go to the airplane, and I thought, that's what I want to do. I want to be a pilot. So it just kind of started from there. Went to ASU.
Go Sun Devils, man.
Go Sun Devils, right?
Yeah.
I did not get a pilot slot right out there because, again, I went to ASU and I had a great time there. So I learned a little bit of I learned a little bit of discipline not getting that. That was kind of my defining moment when they only handed out 2 slots. They handed out to 2 of the best people in the class, and I wasn't one of them. And that was the first time I noticed that, hey, you know what? I got to be a little bit more disciplined if I really want to be somebody, right? So buckled down, eventually got a pilot slot in the reserves, flew C-5s in the reserves, and then I transferred to the Air National Guard in Phoenix, and then I finished up my 14 years there.
Nice.
Now, while I was in the Guard, it's a part-time job flying the KC-135. I got a job flying Part 135 charter, so I dipped my toe in that. I liked it and enjoyed it. Went to NetJets for 2 years. Enjoyed that, and then eventually got on with Southwest. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. Captain, got on the interview team early on, was doing that all the way up until April of last year, and then actually April of this year. And then we have a couple more ventures that I'm starting to spend more time in, Aviator Intelligence, Aviator Pro. So
yeah,
it's been a wild ride.
That's great. Well, so you have a very large YouTube audience, Instagram too. How did you get involved in that? What made you want to go out and do that?
It's so funny. I am the last guy that would be on social media. I'll tell you that right now.
Were you on social before you started this enterprise? Really?
No,
okay.
I was not. So the genesis of all the social media stuff was my daughter. She was going to UND at the time, and she wasn't sure that she wanted to continue and be a pilot. And I thought, oh my goodness, I was at Southwest at the time, and I thought, if I could just maybe highlight what it's like to be here, maybe it would convince her. My intention was maybe it would catch on with her friends up at UND, and maybe it'd be a UND thing, and maybe that would influence her to kind of stick in there. And I got on. I go, you know what? Google how to make YouTube videos, and that's how it started.
Before the days of AI and all that.
Before all that, I was taking notes. It was like a college course, man. I was trying to figure it all out.
I mean, I think everybody wants to be in the creator economy in some way. Well, let me ask you first off, influencer, content creator, how do you prefer? Which terminology do you want to go by?
I don't know. I'm still I still feel really new at this. I don't know. I put out content, and if people love it, then that's great, and I'll make more of it. And I'm starting to change into I did interviews for over a decade. So now what I want to do is really, my daughter's gone, got her CFI, all that good stuff. Now what I want to do is help the next generation of pilots make it out there, because helping my daughter was very rewarding, and changing that kind of dynamic in my channel to show everybody what it's like, and maybe start getting into a little bit more nitty-gritty stuff on interview prep and stuff. So
what lessons have been, whether hard-earned or came over time, as far as to make it successful, to grow an audience on YouTube or Instagram? What tricks did you learn? Any tricks? Or?
I didn't. I honestly just stayed authentic.
Sometimes that's the best way to do it.
No, that's true. It was total dumb luck. I mean, I hope to present myself as a real, genuine, authentic guy. So whatever I do, whatever I wear, whatever I talk about, I have knowledge in it, or I utilize whatever I'm doing. I flew a Cirrus for a long time. I love Cirrus. I just love aviation. So I just was like, hey, here's my life. And I'm shocked at how many people thought it was interesting.
And now your daughter, you probably have more fans and followers than her entire friend group combined. And now Dad is like super cool, right?
It's pretty funny. Yeah, it's pretty funny. I'm the most least likely guy to be in this position. I could assure you
That's
that.
great. So, you've been around, you flew a long time, Southwest. How many years do you have at Southwest?
Almost 14, actually.
Okay.
Coming up on 14.
There you go.
Yeah.
So there's been a lot of ebbs and flows in this industry.
Yes.
A lot of prospective pilots are out there, getting their CFIs and starting to feel, whoa, like we're not in the, I call it, the panic hiring boom anymore.
Correct. Yep.
What do you say to them,
just from my perspective, I think haven't seen the full cycle. So, I started doing interviews right around 2013. 2014 and up to basically a decade. So I actually saw the slow ramp up and, the peak, so to speak, and then now it's starting to kind of drive down with just the dynamics, what's happening with Boeing. And, there's a lot of stuff out there that's causing a slowdown. It happened. It happened in the past. It's going to happen in the future. So my advice to people is just to keep doing what you're supposed to be doing, right? Like flying, getting advanced ratings, moving up to more advanced airplanes, trying to get those jobs without job hopping, if that makes sense. Stay at a position, become a first officer, captain, maybe a check airman, and then maybe it's time to move on. But there's a lot of, there's a lot of nuance in that too. There's companies that are downsizing, and maybe there's not a lot of opportunity there. So it really is a unique, it's unique to each person, right? It's kind of hard to generally, spread a general blanket. If I did, it would be just to keep flying, get advanced ratings, get your degree, and just network, because that's the biggest thing.
We see you rocking the Aviator Pro merch, so maybe we want to give you a chance to talk about that relationship, that partnership. You were talking about it before the segment started. Tell us a little bit about that.
No, Aviator Pro, so I worked with a flight school called Sierra Charlie back in the day, and Luke, who is a good friend of mine, actually helped my social media channel get going. He was producing a lot of the stuff, and he asked me, he goes, hey, I'm starting this new venture, would you mind doing a couple videos in there? And I said, absolutely. So it's more great, just trying to help out, and I've seen the product is incredible, and I'm proud to be a part of it, but it was just an opportunity to kind of help another friend, with his business, maybe hopefully achieve a little bit on that. And it's all about helping each other out.
Yeah,
that's the reward that I get from it.
Yeah. Well, we might have Luke come join us, too, to talk about Aviator Pro more. And
it is amazing.
Yeah, it's an amazing product. Yeah. Actually, we're doing some work with them and flying and stuff like that, too, some partnership stuff. But, it's a really interesting product.
So what is your most viral piece of content thus far in your content creator? Which one has gotten the most reach? Do you know?
I don't know.
Or what's your favorite? What was your favorite one to do?
The favorite one to do?
I know it's hard to pick. It's like
it is hard to pick. I love the Hawaii stuff.
Yeah.
Anytime I can highlight going to Hawaii, I love it because I love being out there. I love the islands. I had family out there at one time, and it's like going home. So I love highlighting that part. I wish I would get out a little bit more because I pretty much fly. I get there, I go work out, I go to a nice restaurant, eat, and then I go to bed.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like I wish I had a little bit more time to go explore and then kind of show. Paul from My Layover Life does an excellent job of that. And I wish I was getting out a little bit more.
You must have the best view in the world coming into Hawaii. I'm just thinking like Hawaii Island,
or the inner island stuff.
It's unbelievable. Flying inner island is probably my favorite type of flying because we're taking a 737 at 14,000 feet and just flying across the island. I've seen whales breaching in between. We're heading out to Maui from Honolulu. It's just cool. It's so cool out there.
So for you here at Oshkosh, anything particularly you're excited about, you want to see? I know you're pretty much just getting your boots on the ground here today. Is there any part of the show that you're particularly interested in checking out?
I just want to go and experience. Like, it's so big that I have not had the chance to see everything yet. I haven't gone out to the seaplane base, so I think I might try to make it out there. But the problem is once you leave here and go out there, I feel like I'm missing a lot of stuff out here,
Right.
but I don't want to miss the seaplane stuff. So
Yeah, I found that the best way to get around is jetpack because you really
that would
there's
be
so
awesome.
much ground to cover.
Where do you rent those?
Yeah, there's a booth right up
Okay,
here.
right
You just have
over
to
there.
sign the
You have to
release.
file a flight plan
That's
too,
fine.
but-
I'll sign whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, so you've been flying a long time, and a lot of people, they say, I hear it all the time. I don't want to, fly a 737. They have these Airbuses now.
Yeah.
They're way more fun to fly. There's
Yeah.
one right over here. Delta just landed.
Yeah.
What do you say to them? You're a 737 guy. Didn't you fly the KC-135
Flew the
before?
KC-135.
Yeah, so-
I actually have 8 type ratings.
So you're more or less a Boeing guy.
Yeah. I will say my favorite airplane was the C5, the Lockheed C5.
Oh, man, that's cool.
That was my first airplane, so it's your first love.
Right.
But what I would say to them is, we get that a lot.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to fly 737 the rest of my life. But yeah, okay, I get that, but we don't know what the future holds, right? So I mean, the company may not be a 737 operator forever. It may add so you just don't know between different companies. Like you just don't know what the future holds. Right. So my advice would be, get out there, try to. Do your research on different companies. Find out what fits for you. For me, being based in Phoenix was extremely important. So there's only 2 companies out there. I would commute under certain circumstances, but I had my little draft board, and I applied to all of them, and I got hired at Southwest. So that's kind of my advice is just get out there, keep flying, research, apply, network.
Yeah, it's the trim wheel that gets me on the 737. One time I jump seated on one. I couldn't talk. It was so loud up there.
It is loud. And if you think that's loud on the 737, on the KC-135, it's even louder.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But it's the transition between the KC-135 and the 737 was very easy because they are very common, the 2 types. So, it has a big trim wheel, and it makes a lot of noise. All that. So,
I just showed Sean earlier. We were walking by the KC-135 over there, and he couldn't stop looking at that boom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got some footage of it, too.
I do, yeah. We called you the boomer.
I'm trying to influence people, too.
Yeah.
I've got a small group, but I am doing my part to influence and create.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Yep. And the guy that controls that is the boom operator.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. That's cool.
Well, thank you so much for being with us. You can check out all his awesome content, Flying with Big Earn, on Instagram. Go ahead.
Why don't you give your plug for where people can find you?
Oh, yeah, sure. I'm on Instagram, Flying with Big Earn. Also on YouTube, Flying with Big Earn. I do have a TikTok account. I think it's the real Flying with Big Earn.
Nice.
But we don't post on that very much. But we are, with everything going on, we're going to try to get a little bit more social media out there. So
awesome.
Moving forward.
Thank you
for this opportunity.
Thank you so much for sitting down with us. Have an awesome show.
Thanks, Ernie.
Thank you.